We're now going to decide the middle ground on our season predictor, including 6th place, which is going to get naughty. So we've already done our 13th to 20th. Hull City are finishing bottom. Burnley, Watford, Swansea, West Brom, Crystal Palace, Sunderland, and Middlesbrough finished 13th. Who's going to finish 12th? I'm going to put this out there. You're all scared. You're all scared because of last season predictor.
You fought for them the whole season.
I know that. Oh yeah, I know that, but I've got a funny feeling the wheels are going to fall off.
Why?
What gives you that feeling?
Because Kante's gone. That's a huge loss. Yes, Mendy's come in, but it's not going to be the same. When you've won the league, to have that same hunger again, generally is difficult, even if you're one of the big teams. But when you're a team that was, Leicester got 40 more points last year than they did the season before. When it's that big a high, you're going to struggle to reach that, and Champions League football as well.
I understand that.
I tell you that, Leicester City fans would take 12 and getting through the wait.
Bollocks!
He's Jake, I'm Phil. It's 100% LCFC. Where do you think we're going to finish, Jake, in the league, and why?
I think we're going to finish 8th. I think because of the Champions League, it's going to be a lot harder. Fitness-wise, I think in our midfield we're lacking. We lost Kante to Chelsea, 32 million. That's going to be a big loss, and I think a lot more teams are going to come harder and faster next season. So I think it's going to be a lot harder.
You could be right, but 8th, I think we're going to finish top 4 again. So I think we're going to do all right. I think people are going to think we're going to finish mid-table. I think we're going to be higher.
Finishing 12th and having a decent Champions League run.
What's a decent Champions League run?
Winning a game. Getting through the group.
So this season's going to be over by Christmas.
But if you think last year, everyththing worked out for them, and I was loving every second of it.
You drank the Kool-Aid.
I drank the Kool-Aid. Yeah, I did. But I just think the wheels are going to fall
Listen,
off.
right? If they manage to keep hold of Mahrez, they've kept hold of.
Doesn't that look normal?
Vardy.
Doesn't that look more normal?
It does look normal, but they're champions. You don't go from first to 12.
They've kept hold
Leeds
of
United in '92.
Listen,
Man City in the '70s.
They've kept hold of Mahrez. And they've kept hold of Vardy, we think, right?
At
the moment, right? If they had to lose one of their 3 jewels, Kante was the right one to let go, because the easiest thing to replace in a team is energy. You can't replace Vardy's goals easily. It's a gamble. You can't find players like Mahrez for 500,000 or even 20 million.
Even though they did. But yeah, I get your point.
Bringing Mendy to replace Kante is as close to a successful move without actually seeing any football as they can get, if that makes any sense.
I think it'll be a good buy, but I just think they're going to be stretched. And everything worked out for them last year. They didn't have any injuries. And no injuries. They played the same team.
Yeah, but not 12th, Jake. 12th is insane.
Fans won't get on the players' back if they lose a few games. The ball won't get on Ranieri's back if they lose a few games.
We're not giving him 12th, are we, lads?
No way you're going to get 12.
Okay.
No.
I hope they don't. I just think they will.
Where do you think?
Who do you think's going to finish 12th?
I think from that lot, it's going to be Stoke.
I think this season that Stoke City will finish 7th. I think we'll just about probably get close to the European spots with the signs we've made. Joe Allen, Ramadan Sobhi, Berahino looks set to come through the door. And we've got a really strong side for the first time in a long time in every position. So I cannot wait for the season, and I'm saying 7th.
Tell us about Joe Allen, because there's something that they're really excited about. They think it's going to make a massive difference. Is that a bit too much?
He's a very good player. Like, he just didn't fit it. Klopp didn't fancy him at the end of the day. You saw him in the Euros, mate. He was brilliant in that Wales side. You know, he can get them moving. He's not going to add goals to the team or anything. You know, he can keep the ball a bit better. But they play good football anyway.
So why do you think they're going to do so badly?
I think Mark Hughes brought a nicer brand of football to them from the Pulis time. I think they should have done better last year than they did. I think they should have improved on the 9th place from the season before. It's exactly the same. I just feel, much like what you were saying about Leicester, that the wheels can come off that squad.
I think that's madness. I think they've
just gone champions to 12. And you think that's mad? You just told me Leicester fans will be happy with 12.
And a Champions League run. Stop doing that. There's a bit at the end, the Champions League run.
Needs context to his madness, right?
Yeah. Does anyone agree with him?
So dropping 3 places from 9th to 12 is madness right now. But the champions going to 12, that's just sound.
If you're looking at a team where the wheels are going to
fall off, I'd say
there's more egos inside a Stoke City dressing room. It's not going to be as united as Leicester, so it's much more difficult for the wheels to fall off Leicester. Bournemouth and Stoke feel right in that sort of area, because we haven't even talked about Southampton or West Ham or Everton. It looks right. Out of the teams we've got left, it feels.
But I think you're forgetting Leicester for James.
But I think you're forgetting that.
Don't feed the man.
There's always a team that has an absolute nightmare, and there's always a team that there's a massive surprise.
Yeah.
So,
well, you've already given us two surprises.
There's your nice
Burnley will surprise you.
There's your nice little surprise there, Leicester.
Okay, right, shut up.
Yeah.
Just go on Bournemouth, okay?
Biel, new manager. Southampton got a good history of appointing good managers. Harry Kerman, Harry Pochettino. They have again lost a lot of their decent players.
I think it'd be hard for us to replicate 6 next season. We've got a new manager in Claude Puel. He's only proven over in France, so this year could be really an experimentation for him to adapt to the Premier League. You know, we've got 4 competitions, including the Europa League, 6 guaranteed games there, so which could actually affect our form and our challenge in the Premiership.
Mane is a massive loss for them. He was He was awesome for them in the second half of the season, and if they had a really bad period in November, I think, where they lost 4 on the trot. If they picked up, I don't know, 6 points there, they would have been right up there. But they have lost Pele, they have lost Mane. I don't know how they didn't lose the centre back Van Dijk. I think he's
a quality player.
Superb player, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone came in and tried to get him.
Us probably. To be fair, he plays for Southampton. We'll probably go for him.
Yeah, you'll probably get him actually. Yeah, good point. I think Stoke will do better than them.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not going to argue against that one.
Okay.
I haven't got enough time.
Stoke. Go on and stick Stoke in 10th.
There's no way that Chelsea can have another nightmare, can they?
No, they can have another nightmare, but they're not going to have. They're not like Chelsea's nightmare isn't dropping.
First to 12th.
First to 12th.
First to 10th, actually.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea will do better than last season. I think that's an absolute given. Everton's an interesting one for me because I think
these two
are
really,
manager.
both really interesting. For Everton, in terms of improvements that a team wants to make, one is player recruitment, but for Everton more than probably any other team, maybe Chelsea aside, the team itself that's already there, them improving from last season could make a massive difference where they finish. Right?
The problem when you're looking at where Everton are going to finish this season so far is at time of recording they've got Lukaku and Stones still.
Yeah, that's
and they're 2 massive players. So Everton, I think you can only really judge them probably at the end of the transfer window if they were to lose those 2 players, because you might get in 120 million or something along those lines, and you just don't know where that squad's going to go at the moment. Players like Ross Barkley are really good, but he tailed off massively at the end of the season. Yeah. You know,
but they had Martinez, didn't they? And Koeman, you'd think, is a much more progressive manager. They do have a wealth of talent in that squad, and I think Everton will do alright. I'll see them finishing.
You've got some massive bad habits there that Koeman's got to fix. It's not going to be an easy fix fixing that back four. Do you know what I mean?
Typically, it's not going to be Everton get 120 million for Lukaku and Stones, and they go and spend 100 million. They're going to keep quite a lot in their coffers. That's traditionally what happens.
What's the ceiling for them? Because they drew 13 games last season, so they win a few of them. Yeah, that you can make a real difference.
I actually agree with what Flav was saying there. I think Koeman's an absolutely great manager, and I think if there wasn't so many problems with the defence, they could get up to 5th, 6th, something like that with that squad as it is now.
We need to bring in a good centre half, probably 2 if John Stones is about to leave for Manchester City, and the other area is up front. Even if Romelu Lukaku stays, me personally, I think we need another 2 centre forwards. I think Ronald Koeman will come in and take them up a few levels. Everton still have some very, very good players, and I think we'll add to it as well. So I'm going to go for a 7th place finish for the Blues this season.
2 years' time, they'll be back up there, and I think they'll be challenging for maybe even Champions League in a couple of years with Koeman. I rate him that highly.
Really?
So we say 9th, 8th? I'm happy with
we haven't even talked about West Ham.
West Ham's an interesting one. That first season in the Olympic Stadium can go one or 2 ways, can't it?
I mean, if you're looking at a club that's got an exciting future ahead from where they were last season, West Ham are really well placed. They've held on to Dimitri Payet. They're moving into a new stadium. They've got great players. They made some decent signings. They've obviously got Lanzini on a permanent. They kept their manager who was linked to the England job. It's looking rosy for West Ham. The fans are going to be really optimistic about this season.
Who's finishing higher out of these 2?
I think West Ham are in a stronger position to finish higher than Everton, even if Everton do hold on to Lukaku and Stones.
I'd agree with that. Yeah, West Ham would probably finish higher.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So West Ham are going to... This is all we know so far. West Ham are going to finish above Everton. Are they going to finish above either of these 2?
It's so difficult.
It's not going to happen, guys.
Right.
I loved every second of it.
I'm going to put a shout out that that's the way it's going to work out.
Well, you know how I feel about
I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that.
You've got to put Leicester somewhere, and I can't see them being in the top 6. And I do like that West Ham squad.
Well, I think, and I'm going to pull this out the bag, I reckon. It isn't Liverpool. It's not Liverpool. It's not Man City.
Please go for Tottenham. Go for Tottenham.
Face the cameras as you go to Tottenham.
It isn't Chelsea, all right? It is those scumbags. I don't even want to touch it. Can you put that on there, please, mate?
Yeah, of course, mate.
Arsenal
in 6th.
You're not serious, though?
No, I am serious. I'm absolutely serious. They haven't strengthened in the way that the other teams have. They had more work to do than, say, Man United. They had a lot of money to spend. They have lots of money to spend. And the problem isn't necessarily the squad. The problem is the relationship with the fans and the manager. They're still a very fractious football club. Mainly because, obviously, the lack of identity and traditionalism from which their football club is built. But I won't go into that. The problem is the minute the performances don't go right, and when I say that, sorry, the results don't go right, I don't mean losing. I mean not winning. The minute they draw a game, it's like the world has ended for them.
Well, who they play first game?
Liverpool.
You two got... he's Spurs fan. This is why he's saying...
I'm laying the foundations, that's all.
I've got a question for you. Is there a fan base that negatively affects their football club more than Arsenal?
No.
In world football?
Ever. Very subjective. But yeah, probably not. No, I think I definitely think it was to their detriment last year that it all went wrong, because the pressure definitely got to the players, didn't it?
They need a striker. They still need a striker.
You look at them and say, oh look, Arsenal's midfield's alright. They go and spend 30 mil on a midfielder and they still haven't strengthened in defence.
Zach is a good player, like.
Yeah, I know that.
But he's not going to score goals,
yeah, no,
is he?
exactly. That doesn't fix their problems.
The consistency of Arsenal, his average league position's 2.75, so that's around here, obviously.
Man, he was first last year.
Over a 20-year period.
Over a 13-game period, Leicester finished top and you had them 12th. So anything you say is...
Consistency. 20 seasons in the top 4 and you're putting them 6.
Records are there to be broken.
Wenger has built his career on being stable inside that top 4, but look at what every team around him has done this year. Liverpool have got Klopp in the second year, we've got Mourinho, Pep Guardiola is at City, Spurs arguably going to be one of my title favourites, and then you've got Chelsea, you've got Conte in, and what the fuck have Arsenal done? Nothing.
Sam never swears.
Sorry, he's serious.
Sorry, Arsenal fans, it's true.
What about the other candidates? I'd say
fuck off.
What's different this year?
Let's talk about them in the next video when we're going to be placing them on the board teams.
How many seasons have we heard this optimistic feeling about Liverpool? This is the year that it's going to be different.
You what, this is fine.
And you end up finishing 6th, 7th or 8th.
If you cannot look at your own football side and see the positives in that squad, why do you even bother watching football?
That's fine.
Genuinely, if you look at your Man United and go, they're shit, I'm going to spend £1,000 on buying a season ticket to go and watch them. Why do you bother?
That's Arsenal's fan base.
Okay, all right. So I won't ask you this question because you should be optimistic about your team. But you two, what's different this time?
Klopp has his first full season in charge. They don't have to play European football. Those two things alone mean that they won't finish.
Look, right, you're asking me to give me a reason why Liverpool won't finish 6th. I would love to say they're going to finish 6th, but I just don't think they will. I think Liverpool genuinely are in the best position to title push since they fucked it up with Suarez. Which was only a couple of years ago, actually.
Really?
Sorry, mate. But
it's still too soon.
I'd love to see him finish 6th. I just don't think they will out of those teams this year.
All right, put Liverpool back. Who else are you saying? Chelsea?
Yeah, I told you not to bother.
To be honest, you're not arguing Arsenal's case very well here.
I'm
surprised.
The consistency of Arsenal makes me think, all right, Chelsea, let's put that out against the spotlight.
No European football. Conte, you can see what he did with a weak Italian team. No chance.
But
put them back.
This lot finished 10th last year.
Yeah, but they was in turmoil.
Hang on. You're saying I'm nuts for saying Leicester could go this far. You're saying this lot are going to go this far. So... what makes them?
They don't have European football, 40 games potentially, maybe 46, 47. Leicester will be playing 60. It's a lot.
They've got a striker.
And they've got
Arsenal don't have a striker still.
And Conte, look what he did. Well, look what he did with the worst Italian team in 50 years.
Right, do you want to just put it to... No, don't be
Just
stupid,
put it
lad.
back. Alright, you're being silly now.
You haven't
You're
made any
not finding your way out of this corner.
You haven't made any marquee signings.
I don't need to.
And when was the last time, I'm going to go there, you finished above Arsenal?
It will be next season. It will be next season.
When was it though, Flav?
See what happens when you back James into a corner. He just
24,
starts
25
spraying
years.
haymakers and
I
hoping
don't know
one
what it is.
lands.
I'm not saying
You're not
they're going to
landing,
win it,
Look,
but they consistently finish top 4.
I will establish and go into why Tottenham won't be finishing 6th in the next video, and I don't think I have to defend myself here. I want to know why Arsenal won't finish 6th, because currently there's 3 of us that feel that they will, and just you.
Both?
Yeah.
Hang on.
6th.
Yeah.
6th.
Sorry, James, 6th.
Sorry, Arsenal fans. I wish Robbie was here.
Sorry, not sorry.
I wish Robbie was here.
I tried. So there you go. Arsenal going to finish 6th next season, and Arsenal
it's all
will
James's
not be in the
fault.
job next season. And it's sorry about that. I did give it a go. So there you go. There you have it. 6th Arsenal, 7th West Ham, 8th Leicester, 9th Everton, Stoke City, Southampton,
I'm really happy
and
with that.
Bournemouth in 12th. I reckon we might get a couple of comments on this one. Let us know if you think Arsenal are going to finish 6th, or if not, let the boys know why they're wrong. If you enjoyed that video, give it a like. Don't dislike it just because you're an Arsenal fan, and check out the final video where we will decide who's going to be crowned Premier League champions next season.
You do realise how many dislikes are going to get on that video now?
And I won't be reading the comments, so say what you like.